this part of the tutorial will cover the pause menu, or when the game is paused and the different buttons that can be done while the game is paused. So, observe that the character is moving back and forth, even in the scene menu. When I press escape, a pause menu appears. There, you can see there are 3 buttons. Resume, which brings back the game. There's also a restart, which restarts the game, and there's a main menu which goes back to the first screen. So how do we do pause menu? So, we first need another canvas. So, there's a canvas here called pause. We have a prefab for this, so that we can transfer it and no. This prefab has different parts. So let's make it active first. Let's go to the canvas as a whole. Here first. Canvas. Here. There UI. Right here. And active. So here we have the screen. So this is a canvas, which is directly to the camera. And there are several buttons. And there is a text. So we go to the code for the pause screen. Sorry, that's not the code. Scripts, pause. So here, when the game starts, we have to automatically assume. We note that if you're going to use this script, do not put the pause menu script in the actual pause menu game object, because the script will not work due to the game object being inactive, and therefore the script will not work. So put it somewhere like in the UI or any active or some empty object somewhere in the game, as long as it's not the pause menu proper, because it's not going to work. So going back to the pause menu script, first we make sure it's false, because the game never starts as false, and the time scale is 1. So this is important. So when the player presses escape or P or F10 like an RTS, it will first check if the game is paused. And if it is not paused, it will resume the game. And if it is not paused, if it's currently in play, it will pause the game. So there are two methods here: the pause game and the resume game. If we're going to use a similar method in the main menu, where we use a button. So these if the game is not paused, it will first turn the pause thing true, and then set the time scale to 0, which stops all game objects from moving, and makes it is paused boolean true, and makes it so that the cursor is not locked in position and is visible in the game. If the game is to be resumed, it brings back the time scale to 1 second normal speed. It also brings back makes the pause menu invisible or not active. Turns off, it makes is pause boolean false, and the cursor is not shown in the screen. So next is we go to the pause menu here, and we have 3 buttons. So in the previous we can use the previously used main menu script, which has the load scene and the there's also supposed to be here a restart screen or main menu screen. This brings it back to the first part. So what we do is we select the button here, and then we put the on click, and then we put the main game scene menu. So game scene. So for the game scene, there's restart and menu. My mistake. For restart, it just loads the entire scene again, while menu goes back to the main menu. So we put in the main menu button an object with the game scene script. So we use player UI has it here, and then the player UI also has the pause menu, so we can also use that. So for the game scene restart, same thing, player UI, game scene. But for resume, will call the pause menu because it is a public method, and therefore it would use the method to bring it back if it was paused. So if we go here and So it's currently not paused. Everything is moving. Even the characters moving side side, left right, left right. If you press the pause menu, the escape pauses the game. If I press escape again, brings it back. If I pause it again, then press resume, brings it back. So this scene is not necessarily scene one. So when you press restart, it goes to a different scene, but it goes back to the main menu. Here we go, and if we go back to the main the sample scene, press start, goes back to the scene. Okay, that's for the pause menu tutorial.